Hello there everyone, AnthWolf here bringing you even more Final Fantasy XIV, playing as our level 62 Black Mage, Evane Jouberault, and where we last left off we were doing some optional dungeons. We even managed to do one of the 24-man raids, and in terms of the storyline progress we had just got to the end of the main Heavensward storyline. A few things of course happened, but we are now at the point where I'm comfortable going into the patch content for the Heavensward expansion. And of course, we're going into patch 3.1, known as Goes Light, So Goes Darkness. And we are here in the Pillars of Ishgard. So we also unlocked the level 50 to level 60 Black Mage skills, so we have some new abilities available to us now. Let's have a quick look here, of course. Leyline, Sharpcast, Ino-chan, Blizzard Forth, and Firefall. We also gained the level 62 skill Between the Lines, which allows us to move instantly to ley lines drawn by us previously, though it cannot be used while you're bound in place. That'll be useful. It's not a skill we needed to complete a class mission for to unlock. So, awesome. We'll take it. But yeah, we need to pop ahead into the Fort Tomps Manor and continue with the story arc. There's a few more dungeons we have yet to unlock. We could obviously do a couple of more raids, but they'll always be there waiting for us. So that's it. Alphino is determined to rebuild the Scions now. Of course, our friend here in Ishgard, Stinian, was possessed completely by Nidhogg once more when he gained both of the eyes. We are searching for our fellow Archons, our fellow Scions, like Tataru is saying here. Obviously, and at the end of the credits of the main Heavensward storyline, we had Elidibus, one of the Ascians, who seemingly on the moon, discussing that an individual, the Warrior of Darkness, and his allies were going to get involved in some way. Either way, let us begin. An uncertain future. Alphino wishes to share his latest developments in the search of the missing Scions. So it seems Yida and Papalimo escaped the city of Uldar. A student of Baldessian from Charlayan is coming to maybe discuss the missing Scions. And Sir Emmerich is asked for us to discuss something with him. Of course, we were hoping the Dragon Song War had come to an end with the defeat of Nidhogg and his brood, but obviously with his resurrection, peace may not be entirely possible just yet. Actually, what titles have I unlocked? I was wondering if I had Sky Pirate unlocked. We have Annihilator from completing our level 60 Black Mage missions. Awesome.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited. Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir, then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor? Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Yeah. While we were victorious, we didn't entirely win, did we? Okay. Speak to Tataru and let her know we're going to be travelling back to the Dravanian Forelands to speak to one of Racefelger's children, Vidophania. Okay, Tataru was trying to tell us who the student of Aldessian was meant to be. I'm guessing it's someone that Alphino may know. If he had to cut her off... Oh well, we'll shall find out. So we have various foodstuffs here. Breaking the cycle. Alphino is ready to escort Lucia to Annex Trine. We could walk all the way, but to be fair, this is why we have aetheryte crystals. We still have plenty of missions to go through here. So I might work through them in my own time playing as my red mage, which I do have. My red mage is currently level 53. Let's see, I'll be leveling my red mage up in the background. Okay. I'm gonna go speak to Vidofnir. There is an aetheryte actually in the 3 towers, but flight will take us as a couple of moments. We have the non-mind and their beast tribe, which we could unlock at some point as well. Now, where will Vidofnir be? She's going to be inside somewhere, no doubt. So Vidofnir is going to consult with her broodfather, whether or not there can be peace with the Ishgardians. Meanwhile, I guess we're travelling over to Idleshire. Another time, another place. Alphinaud is eager to set out for Sharlayan. Okay, speak to Y'shtola in Idleshire. We did spot Y'shtola. She was standing just outside of the town proper, on the way to do the Great Google Library hard mode. She definitely knows Alphinaud. Right, Y'shtola dropped his name. Oh. Only now he's thinking about it. What was the Taro trying to tell him?
I'm terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, miss. And who is that I spy but young Alphinaud Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
Okay, to Matoya's cave. It seems that the first meeting of Kryl and Alphino didn't go particularly well. But it has been mentioned even by Alphino himself that he was rather headstrong and rather naive in how he should act in front of his fellow companions, especially in the studium back in Charlayan. In the eye of the beholder, the prospect of meeting the famous Master Matoya seems to have set Kryl thinking.
Oh. Is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the Isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryl, you too possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the signs of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock, I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Okay. Back to Tailfeather we go. You'll notice the patch quests have a lot of back and forth. After all, they are not really unlocking any new areas or regions for us to explore. That will be reserved for the Stormblood expansion. There are a few more dungeons, a few more trials to unlock, of course. That's why you learned how to do artistry, to impress the young ladies. Okay. So we have a sketch, a surprisingly accurate depiction of the missing Thancred, suggesting that Alphinaud may indeed have mistaken his life's calling. No luck there. We'll speak to a Marshal our March champ, last. Someone potentially matching Thancred's description, wielding an axe. Interesting. And that was maybe around here. Wielding an axe, you say? Isn't that interesting? Someone who took down a Bandersnatch with style. That certainly sounds like Thancred. He does have a style unto himself. So Alphinaud and Ishtola were asking at the various hunter camps. Yeah, a case of foot and mouth disease. A little slow, a little late. Alphino would like very much to continue to search for Thancred. Might as well speak to the non-mind. See what they know. Thancred seemed to have wanted to approach the NAF in regards to them summoning their Lord Ravana, Lord of the Hive, once more. Of course, he doesn't have the Echo, so if he gets placed before Ravana, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. So we're going to have to fight our way through once again.
Who else could be? Thancred! It could be Thancred! We must hurry!
Now, aren't you all familiar?
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever!
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not!
So you are the Warrior of Light, the savior of Eorzea.
They all saw something.
It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
Hey, Thancred.
Not very sporting of you to interrupt, but so be it. Mark well our faces, Warrior of Light, for we are the Warriors of Darkness, walkers of a different path, and we shall meet again.
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
Thancred, are you all right?
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
That's right. Kryl would have also maybe had a vision. Maybe.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our party? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some gods-forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the live stream in the Altogether. Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides. Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke?
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement. From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more.
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed Warriors of Darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the Warrior of Light, I suppose.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Yeah, what has happened to your other eye, Thancred? Seems you have a bit of a... you're covering it a little there. Of course. Dreams of the Lost. Alphino is lost in thought, doubtless ruminating on the implications of your encounter with the Warriors of Darkness. Oh yeah, about that. Unfortunately not. Seemingly Heidelin spoke to her and bade her remain. Okay. Time to speak to Vidofnir once again. I don't know that Ravana has been felled once more.
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another. Honorable men, to whom Sir Emmerich was no hero, but a scheming patricide. Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of Foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
Well, our return to Ishgard is not going to go well, is it? Yeah, about sums it up, Thancred. We've had a busy time. So Thancred's feeling a bit down that the other Scions are still missing. But we can do what we can in the meanwhile, while we wait for news. So not only was Sir Emeric had an attempted assassination, but many houses in Ishgard were set ablaze. Against the dying of the light, Eorzea would begin the hunt for the arsonists without delay. Okay, we need to find Lord Emmanuelane, since he is known as the gossip of Ishgard. Maybe he's heard something about who may have started the fires. And he looks like he may be in the merchant district. Let's pop over to the Jeweled Crozier and find out. Oh, seems he is. Okay. It seems Sir Emmerich was offering refugees sanctuary in the vault. Let's see if we know what the if the refugees know anything. One of the priests here. Interesting. A man with a satchel kneeling outside of a window. Interesting. A man with a satchel. Not the greatest of descriptions, but it's something. So, no rhyme or reason how these fires may have started. But everyone's thankful for the church's hospitality, if nothing else. Let's see if Hilda and Thancred have had any further luck. So while other buildings quite happily went up in flames, the cathedral and the tribunal were spared. Or were only paid lip service and damages. Oh, is this the attempted murderer? Why isn't he in a jail cell? Alphino tackled him. What's this all about? A suspect. Yes, Fancred, what did happen to your old outfit? At least we can speak to Lucia once again. Let her know that someone or some people of influence provoked a man to cause the fires. So we have some accessories we can help ourselves to. We're not going to need either of them, really. We could try to sell them on the marketplace, I suppose, but not going to worry about it. We'll take the elegant silver pieces. As goes light, so goes darkness. Lucia is not one to rest on her laurels.
I do not mean to diminish our accomplishments, but until we identify the ones who ordered the fires set, our work is far from finished.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved. Do any likely suspects spring to mind?
Far too many to count.
Lord Commander, your wounds.
Are healing well. Thank you. Time is of the essence. Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change. When our enemies learn that we have apprehended their arsonist, there is no telling how they will react.
Lord Commander, an armed mob has seized control of the vault.
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
Ridiculous! I mean, do they honestly think that executing Sir Emmerich would change anything? That the truth will somehow die with him?
These fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Given the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
Agreed. Lucia, take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
At once, Lord Commander.
Hilda, I need your people out in force throughout the Broom. When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets. I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
Of course.
We are in your debt.
I shall join you as well, Lord Commander.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Atwarel. To arms, then, friends. Time is against us.
I like how Sir Emmerich checked Count Edmond's opinion of another one of his sons going into battle. Duty calls, we do commence battle for as goes light, so goes darkness. We will be synced to level 60. So there are 6 hostages we need to rescue. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. That's better.
There.
Oh, you're trying to kill a hostage.
Down with you!
Oh, hi.
You underestimate me.
Oh. We didn't destroy all those constructs in our last assault at the vault. Oh, Christ. Uh-oh. Seems he's getting attacked by everyone now.
This knight does not yield!
Still one more hostage missing. Oh.
Where is he? Where is he?
Come no closer!
You have nowhere to run. Release the girl and surrender.
Surrender to whom? The blasphemer who throws wide the gates to our enemy? Who breaks bread with him and calls him brother? Ungodly swine! I would sooner die than surrender to you.
Is it godly to spill the blood of an innocent child? To burn the homes of your brothers? Tell me, priest, is that godly?
Do not speak to me of godliness, heathen! Your father's blood is on your hands, as is hers!
What? But I...
Vidofnir!
Well met, knight. Mayhap I chose an inopportune moment?
Not at all. Pray forgive us this most unworthy reception. We are honored to have you with us, and right glad of your aid.
Fortune delivered the child unto me. I had but to receive her.
Thank you for saving me.
Thou art welcome, child.
Never did I think to be indebted to so unexpected a savior. But full glad am I to be so.
Friend of Izel, warrior of warriors, I had hoped to meet with thee. I bear a message from my sire.
From Bracefelder?
Upon returning to our lands, Nidhogg's shade did sing unto his brood, and they for skies unknown did then take wing. This thou must know, for your fates are inextricably bound.
What of Estinian? Is he truly lost to us?
Such matters are beyond my ken. I but bear my father's words. Take from them what thou wilt. Fare you well, mortals.
So it is as they say, then. A great white dragon swooped down from the heavens to rescue an innocent child.
A most unexpected turn of events, but not an unwelcome one. The people will not soon forget this day.
Yet how will they choose to remember it, Sir Emmerich? And will these events serve to bring man and dragon closer together, or drive a deeper wedge between brothers? After 1,000 years, the world these men once knew is changing, and with ungentle swiftness to boot. Though their actions are misguided, their sentiments are only to be expected. You may be sure that others will rally to their cause. I share your desire for a lasting peace with the Jovanians, I do. But I would not see it built on the bones of our countrymen, nor on our own. I see much of Horsefon in you, and I could not bear to mourn the passing of another son.
Lord Edmund.
Vidofnir must have been circling for hours. I think he's feeling a bit bad because he isn't with Minfilia, actually. Oh, you think his ability to manipulate Aether has been compromised? Interesting. Well, flowing into the livestream affected Y'shtola. Undoubtedly it may have affected Thancred in a similar way. Let's go speak to Alphino and Tataru.
that Vidofnir should chance to arrive even as the girl fell. Truly, I could not have planned it better myself.
Ah, good. We were afraid you might have left.
A shield, my lord?
Fit for a true knight. An expression of our gratitude to you and yours. Long overdue.
This is the second shield we've been offered.
But there is something else I would discuss ere you part. Something which cannot leave this room. My father will soon step down as head of our house. Sir Emeric was not the only one to fall under suspicion following the death of the Archbishop. There are some who believe my father complicit in a coup d'etat. Thus he intends to renounce his title to absolve our house of suspicion and secure the support of our peers.
Surely there must be another way to convince houses Durandare and Zamail.
So I said to him. Alas, he will not budge. Ever since I was a child, I knew that I would one day succeed my father. The thought of it filled me with pride. Yet once I learned the day was at hand, my heart was filled with naught but dread. Our legacy is built upon the lies of our forefathers. In accepting this title, am I not perpetuating this injustice? Why should I become the next count?
Well, not to throw your half-brother's words into your face.
You sound just like him. Aye, I suspect that is what Horschiffon would have said. To aid those in need. When you look on that shield, I trust you will remember his words. And should I once more find my resolve wavering, I ask that you show me the way. You are a sister to Horschiffon. Will you be a sister to me as well? Come, Emanelaine. There's much to be done. For Father, and for Sir Emeric, and for Ishgard. To think we share the same blood. Pray excuse us.
Well, Lord Emanelaine's been struggling being the second son for quite some time.
Those were the days of promises and vows, of tentative first steps into an uncertain future. A future shaped by the choices we made, in ways we could never have foreseen. Born of good and evil, of light and darkness, and shepherded by our hand. Be it for weal, or be it for woe.
From the memoirs of Count Edmond de Fortemps. And so ends the patch 3.1 story arc. A good place. We have some more accessories here. I'll tell you what, we'll grab some and see if they sell. I'm not sure if they will, but give it a go. If they're even tradable, that is. Hello, Eorzea. Was that the Great Google Library? It looks like it was. Meanwhile... familiar figures. The Imperials won't know what hit them. What are Yida and Papalimo up to? Full well, I'm glad no they survived. But, as I mentioned, this is a good place to take a break now that we've ended the story arc of patch 3.1. Let's have a look at these accessories. Item level 240 accessories. Not bad, actually. They are untradeable, though. Unfortunate. Oh well. Oh well, so be it. We have a wind-up horse chiffon. That unlocks a minion. Can have a quick look. Oh. Crafted by the first son of House Halienheart to honour the passing of one of House Fortomp's greatest knights, this miniature replica of the great Harsha-font gravestone only begins to tell the tale of a man who devoted his life to the service of his nation and his friends. But yeah, as I say, we'll take a break. And when we come back in the next stream, or the next video, depending on how you're watching the series, we will be going into the patch 3.2 story arc, known as the Gears of Change. But that will be, for those here on Twitch, tomorrow. We'll probably get through patch 3.2 and possibly 3.3 as well, since I have a lot more free time tomorrow. But thank you all for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed this stream, and hope you've all enjoyed this video if you're watching this later in the future. Otherwise, hopefully enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, no. Take care. Bye-bye now.